Hi there, my name's Troy Jacobson. Welcome to our On the Road series, Volume 3, Tucson Training Rides. On today's ride, we're going to ride up Mount Lemmon to roughly mile 15 or so in this beautiful scenic overlook. And it's going to be a tough ride. You're going to average about a 4 to 6% grade all the way up the mountain, all right? So you need to be ready to work hard. So make sure you have plenty of fluids. And right now I want you to warm up, okay, before we get started. And in a few minutes, we'll meet at the base of the mountain. I'll see you soon. Alrighty, here we go. Warming up, heading towards Mount Lemmon. You're in your small chain ring on the front and about your 15 on the back. And let's just warm it up nice and easy. Cadence only about 80 to 90 RPMs right now. Because I tell you what, we're going to be climbing for a long time. So take it easy right now. Just get the legs loose. You can see the mountain up ahead. See the very top? That's where we're headed. Well, not really. We're going to go over the mountain, kind of do a little bit of a side-to-side pattern as we go up. So you won't be climbing straight up, but we're going up pretty high. We're going to be going up well over 5,000 feet. It's going to be a great ride. I'm really excited about this ride. It's hot out today in Tucson. It's around 80 degrees, perfect riding temperature. Beautiful day out. It's kind of calm down here. There's a Coach Troy cam. Checking out the road from my eyes. And we're just cruising along here, warming up, getting the heart rate up a little bit. Of course, if you have to, you can add some additional warm up because we want to make sure that you're ready to climb. Most of this ride, you're going to be riding tempo at around your threshold. It's not going to be an easy workout today, but you're going to love the scenery. One of my favorite rides, and a favorite ride of a lot of cyclists from around the country who come here to Tucson, Arizona to train on Mount Lemmon. Lots of professional cycling teams, professional triathletes come out here. Of course, a lot of training camps. We have our own training camp every March, which is just a wonderful event. Get to ride on these roads and experience it firsthand. Can't beat it. Especially for people from the Midwest and Northeast who want to escape the cold temperatures of winter. Head out here to Tucson, where it's sunny over 300 days a year. Coach Troy cam once again. Little red card just went by. We're still just warming up as we approach the mountain straight ahead. Still in your small chain ring on the front, 15 on the back. Cadence 80 to 90 RPMs. Your effort is around 70%. Just starting to get the heart rate up a little bit. Taking it nice and easy. Really no grade change here. We're on pretty much a flat area. So we're not working that hard, just warming up. And again, if you have to, you can certainly turn this DVD off or put it on pause and warm up a little bit longer before we get to the actual workout when we start climbing. It's probably a good idea, in fact. But here we go, just warming up, and we're always thinking about good form. Knees in your top tube, upper body's nice and still. Nice smooth pedal action. Great roads out here in Tucson. It's one of the friendlier cycling cities in the country, and that's why so many athletes come out here to train. Heading towards Mount Lemmon. Mount Lemmon's pretty interesting. At times in the winter, it can snow up towards the top of Mount Lemmon, and they actually have to close the road down. And it's a beautiful area in that you can be towards the top and it can be snowing. And there's actually a ski resort up there. And half an hour later, you can be down in the desert. Not many places in the U.S. where you can do that. So here we go. We're just warming up. Small chain ring 15. All right, good job. We're done our warm-up, and we're here at the base of the climb, getting ready to go up the mountain. We're going to roughly mile 15 again, which is this beautiful scenic overlook, so get ready for that. But it's going to be a tough ride. We're going to be at tempo effort, right near our threshold, and I want you to think about good hill climbing technique at all times. Get into a nice rhythm, and I want you moving a lot around on your saddle, okay? Make sure that you're changing position, and every once in a while we're going to stand up to stretch out the legs. But get into a nice rhythm, and you're right around your threshold. It's going to be a tough ride. So hop back on your bikes, and let's go. Okay, here we go. Make sure you have your sunscreen on, and you're ready to ride, because right off the gun, the road starts pitching up. Okay, so we're going to go to your big chain ring on the front, and you might as well stay there because we're not going to do very much on this ride. It's going to be out of the big chain ring on the front, so put it in your big chain ring on the front, and right now I want you in your 15 on the back, okay? Big chain ring 15, and your cadence throughout this ride is going to be in that 80 to 90 RPM range. Again, most of this ride you're going to be climbing that threshold, but I want you to get into it a little bit slowly here. And actually, this climb that I'm doing is not incredibly challenging, but you're still going up at around 5% grade. So it's not easy by any means. Spectacular scenery up ahead on this ride. Big chain ring 15, cadence around 80 to 90 RPMs, and your effort already is about 80%. 80%. So we're going to be at threshold pretty much after we get through a little bit more warming up. We're going to be at threshold for most of this ride. And the winds can really shift up here too as you climb. So you might actually be climbing into a headwind, which makes things that much more difficult. So just be mentally prepared for a tough workout. Now, if you're on your bike on a trainer at home, you might want to elevate your front wheel. Elevate your front wheel a little bit higher so the bike tilts up, simulating that position you experience when you're riding a bike uphill on the road. Make sure you have plenty of fluids with you and plenty of calories too. Still in your big chain ring 15 on the back. Of course, you're in the opposite gearing of what I'm in on the road. I'm in my small chain ring and probably about my 23 right now on the road. But you're in your big chain ring 15 trying to simulate that same effort. If you're on a stationary bike, I want your tension on about 3 from that scale, from 1, which is very easy, to 5, which is very hard. 80% right now, 80% effort. As you get into it, you start getting warmed up. Always thinking about good climbing technique. Hands nice and relaxed on those bars. Knees into your top tube. Looking good. Good start to the day. Hey, bud. On the weekends, you'll see lots of cyclists on this road, but this road is still open to traffic, so you need to be careful out here. One really good workout you can do is to actually time trial from the base of the climb up to a certain point. You talk about a tough day. That is a tough day in the saddle, but gives you tremendous training benefits like you're going to get today. Believe me, you're going to get a really good workout in today as we go up to Windy Point at a pretty intense effort. Here we go. You're in your big chain ring 15 on the back. And we're climbing nice and steady. There's not going to be a lot of gear shifting and changing in this workout because it is uphill for most of this ride. Anywhere from say 4 to about 8-9% grade. It's a nice steady effort. Come on, let's go. Stay on my wheel now. Just stay on my wheel all the way up this climb. Don't let me lose you. Hold it together because we're going to be climbing threshold. And right now, I want you to bring your intensity up, okay? Bring your intensity up. I want you up to 85%. 85%. We're starting to work hard already and get used to it. mentally get used to it. Get ready to suffer. That's what racing's all about, that ability to suffer and hold it there. You don't want to go over the edge, but you want to suffer it. You want to hold a high level of intensity and output. If you have your power meter on the bike right now, you know your power output is about your threshold output. Some of you might be up around 250 watts right now. Stronger riders might even be up to about 350 watts right now. It just depends on the individual. Heart rate wise, the heart rate's starting to drift up and you're starting to get around your threshold, your anaerobic threshold, within a few beats as you ride this tempo. And now I want you to go to your 13 on the back. Big chain ring on the front, 13 on the back. Again, tip the front wheel up a little bit, put some additional riser blocks underneath there if you have to. Another phone book. Bring that bike up. Bring that front wheel up if you have to simulate the position you get when you're on the roads, climbing a mountain. You can see how the road's pitching up a little bit here. It kicks up. And we're just going nice and steady, riding tempo. Big chain ring on the front, 13 on the back. We're at around 85% effort. Always thinking about your good form here. Knees in your top tube and upper body's nice and still, and your arms, your hands are nice and relaxed on the handlebars. It's really important because you don't want to spend any excess energy when you're climbing this type of hill. This steady ascent. Looking good. Here's the Coach Troy cam, and we're going to stay with this for a little while. Right now you're at 85%. Big chain ring on the front, 13 on the back. If you're on a stationary bike, bring that tension up to about a 4. So you've got a lot of tension on the pedals right now. And you're working that cadence, and you're probably in the low 80s if possible. You can see over the view there, look over Tucson as I just did. You look over to your right here, you see all of Tucson in the valley. Beautiful area to ride. Come on now, stay with me, nice and steady. Still looking at the road from my perspective as we start climbing. We're going to go up to roughly mile 14 to 15. A place called Windy Point with some spectacular views. Still a while to go. So mentally, you've got to be into this. You've got to be focused as we climb this hill at tempo. Big chain ring on the front, 13 on the back, nice and steady rhythm. It's all about rhythm. I want you to try to stay seated for much of this ride. Once in a while we'll stand up, but you climb more efficiently and use less energy if you can climb seated. Get into a nice rhythm and climb seated. You're going to have to move around on that saddle a lot too. Scoot back towards the back of the saddle, then once in a while scoot up towards the nose of the saddle. And to the right, to the left. Change your position often so the muscles don't get fatigued. But most of the time you're going to be riding towards the back of your saddle, most likely, as you utilize those strong muscles in the hamstring and the glutes. Now I'm on a road bike right now, but if you're on a triathlon bike with tri-bars, this is still a grade. You could potentially get down on the aero bars and use them and pull up on them as a lever. Alright? So if you're on a tri-bike, think about that. Pull up on those aero bars as a lever and get into that rhythm. Still around 85% right now. Come on. It's going to be a tough workout. You're going to need to eat. You're going to need to drink because you're going to use a lot of energy at this intensity, right around your threshold. This is a great time trial workout too. A great time trial workout. So if you're a triathlete getting ready for time trials, do this workout. Depending on where you are in your training cycle, maybe once and even twice a week to boost your threshold and your power at threshold. Alright, here we go. Nice and steady, nice and steady. Cadence, 80 to 90 RPMs. The truth is you're probably around 80 because you're pushing a big gear inch right now and you're producing a lot of power. And you're ankling through the pedal stroke. Push down and pull up, push down and pull up. Still here on the Coach Troy cam, looking at the roads from my eyes. Come on, keep it steady. Stay with me as we climb this hill, as we climb Mount Lemmon. Conquer Mount Lemmon. And one day, hopefully, you can come out here and ride it on your own or with our camp in real life. See how spectacular this area is for riding. Keep it going, keep it going. Come on, nice and steady. Still in your big chain ring on the front, 13 on the back, and you should get used to that because that's gearing you're going to be using for much of this ride. Once in a while, it kicks up a little bit more, and we'll be going down to your 11 or 12. But right now, big chain ring 13, cadence around 80 RPMs or so, and your effort is 85%. And you're working hard. Doesn't look like the winds are kicking up quite yet, but as we get higher, I have a feeling they will, which is typical. And if they do, it's going to make life a lot more difficult. But that's okay. We want a good workout today anyway. And you know what? It's hot out here. It's over 80 degrees now. Over 80 degrees. It's a little bit cooler the further up we go. And in fact, if you're doing this ride in real life, you might want to bring some kind of windbreaker for your descent because it can get really cool up towards the top. Again, it's a totally different environment as you climb. Down here it's high desert, all the way up there you find a different vegetation, a lot of evergreens. There's actually skiing up there. Alright, here we go, nice and steady. You're riding behind me again. Stay on my wheel, stay with that rhythm. Big chain ring on the front, 13 on the back. Now you should be suffering right now because I am. You should be working it hard. You have to be taking it to that intensity where you want to slow down, but you don't have to. Okay, you're looking good now. You can see up ahead as the road winds around and kicks up a little bit as we're heading uphill. Beautiful sunny day here in Tucson, Arizona. Not a cloud in the sky right now. That dry heat, as they say. It's nice and comfortable, very low humidity. Very pleasant riding conditions. All right, now keep it nice and steady. Your intensity level is around 85%. You're in your big chain ring on the front, you're 13 on the back. And you are working hard, maintaining that good climbing form. See how my hands are resting right on top of the handlebars, nice and relaxed. Come on, keep it steady, stay right on my wheel. Don't lose my wheel, stay right there. Looking strong. Now don't forget to start drinking now. Drink some sports drink. Taking a few calories. Even though this workout isn't super long, you still want to maintain a high energy level, maintain a good hydration level as well. Taking some fluids, taking some calories, taking some electrolytes too. Some sodium and other electrolytes so you make sure you don't cramp on this hard workout. Nice and steady. Come on, stay with me. Right up on my wheel. Get right up on my wheel. There's Coach Troy Cam. Looking at the road through my eyes. Car up. Car up. Nice steady rhythm. Big chain ring 13, intensity level still around 85 to say 90%. All right, 85 to 90%, because the more we climb, the harder things get here. Harder you're going to be working as your heart rate starts drifting up even higher, because it's hot out right now and your effort is high. Your power output is high. Keep it steady. Come on. You have to stand up every once in a while. Stand up to stretch the legs out. Stretch the lower back out. That's okay. Always thinking about your good form. Knees in your top tube. Upper body's nice and relaxed, nice and still. Checking out the valley there. You don't want to go over that railing right now, that's for sure. So keep your eye on the road. Nice shoulder here, heading up Mount Lemmon, so the cars don't bother us a whole lot, which is nice. Keep it nice and steady. Come on. Stay on my wheel. Don't lose your focus. Speed limit 35 miles per hour. We're nowhere near that right now. We're going probably about 15 miles per hour at this point. Nice and steady, climbing the hill. See how the road's kicking up. Stay with me, 85% to 90% effort. You're working it hard, your heart rate's high, but you can tolerate this discomfort for a long time. But you're right on the edge, okay? You need to be right on the edge. Don't go over 90%, because then you'll be over the edge and you won't be able to make it all the way up the mountain. You've got to pace yourself. So you got to keep it steady, maintain your focus, remember to hydrate, remember to take in some calories. Car up. Okay, here we go. Keep it steady, keep it steady. Stay focused on my wheel. Stay focused on my wheel. Stay right up there with me. Come on. Big chain ring 13. If you're on a stationary bike, that tension's on about a 4 on that scale from 1, which is really easy, to 5, which is really hard. Stay focused. Keep it steady. There's the Coach Troy cam. Passing mile 3 there. Saw that little green sign. Now I'm not sure if that's mile 3 from the bottom or not. But if it is, you know where we are. Nice and steady. I'm taking a drink. Make sure you take a drink right now as well. Come on, keep it steady. Keep it steady. Big chain ring 13 still. Big chain ring 13. Hopefully you elevated that front wheel to change your body position to simulate that same position we're riding on the road. And you're maintaining that good riding form. Upper body nice and still. Legs doing all the work. Not wasting any energy as you climb this hill. See how the bush is starting to blow around? Starting to get some headwind, which is actually making us work a little bit harder now. But we're still going to stay in that same gearing. Big chain ring, 13 on the back. And if you're on a stationary bike, keep that tension on about a 4 on that scale from 1 to 5. So you're working hard, you're putting a lot of power into the pedals. And as we continue to climb, it's going to get more difficult. But your effort's around 85 to 90%. And you're riding steady tempo, right near your threshold. The legs are starting to hurt too, but not so much that you have to slow down. You can maintain this. You can really maintain this, so keep your focus. Car up. All right, nice and steady, nice and steady. Stay on my wheel. Come on, think about your cadence. Keep that cadence up. Try to get it up around 80, not higher. Coach Troy cam. See the side of the mountain there if you look over. Beautiful scenery here, but right now the sweat's in my eyes. I can hardly see because I'm working so hard. Come on, let's go, let's go. Get that stinging sensation in the eyes. I'm sure you have it. Your glasses are on. Sweat's pouring down in your eyes. Come on, kind of feels good though. You know you're working hard when that happens. Car up. Coach Troy cam right here, looking out over the edge. Look how far the drop that is. You don't want to go over the edge, that's for sure. Keep it steady, nice and steady. Stay with me, stay on my wheel. Big chain ring 13. Of course, I'm on my small chain ring on the front and probably my 23 on the back. Here we go. Hands are loosely on the handlebars. Keeping it steady, keeping the upper body nice and still, maximizing energy output. But you're putting out some pretty serious power right now. See the road kick up ahead as it winds around. Keep it steady, stay on my wheel, and stay focused. Once you lose your focus, your cadence drops, and you're no longer riding effectively. So you have to maintain your focus, keep that cadence up, ankle through the pedal stroke, always thinking about your good form. Check that heart rate monitor once in a while, check that power meter once in a while. Still have a ways to go, so don't lose your focus. Stay with me here. That's it, that's it. Push down and pull up, ankle through that pedal stroke. Beautiful riding area. What's the sign coming up? Elevation 4,000 feet. We're climbing slowly but surely. Stay with me, you're having a great ride so far. Keep it steady, keeping it steady. Car up. Of course, on this DVD we have a music off option, so you can play your own music in the background. You can also just turn off all the audio if you're sick of hearing me talk and just do the ride on your own. Don't worry, my feelings won't be hurt. Alright, stay with me here. My job here is to coach you and motivate you, remind you of form and all these other important factors. So try to stay on my wheel as I'm talking into your ear as to how to climb this hill, Mount Lemmon in Tucson, Arizona. Nice and steady, good rhythm going on here, nice cadence upwards of 80 RPMs, keeping it nice and steady. Of course, if on your trainer the big chain ring and 13 on the back is too challenging for you, back it off a little bit, okay? You can back it off a little bit, make it a little bit easier. You've got to ride according to your fitness level. But I want you to challenge yourself, because if you were on this hill right now with me, you would be working hard right now. You'd be working hard to stay on my wheel. Of course, maybe not. You might be in a lot better shape than I am and ride away from me. But for this video, you're on my wheel and you're working it hard. Come on now, we're riding. Come on. Keep it steady. The headwind is actually starting to push us back a little bit, forcing us to work a little bit harder. But that's okay. That's why we're out here. This is a red zone training day. Red zone training day, which means you want to get a lot out of it. Car up. Not very much traffic out on the mountain today, which is nice. Keep it steady, keep it steady, keep it steady. Try to keep that cadence up around 80 RPMs. Try to keep that tension high. If you're on a stationary bike, keep that tension on a 4 on that scale from 1 to 5. If you're on a trainer, try to keep it in your big chain ring, 13 on the back. Of course, you can always shift gears to accommodate your current fitness level, but I'd like for you to try to think about getting your cadence up around 80 RPMs, even though we're climbing right now. Always working on that good form. If you mash the huge gear and have a cadence that's too low, you're not taking full advantage of the mechanical nature of the bicycle. And the gears of a bicycle, take full advantage of it. Try to keep that cadence up in a range where you're efficient at producing power, but also efficient and not utilizing excess energy. That's the key to being a good cyclist. Alright, here we go. Still working it hard, still climbing. As you can tell, we're still moving uphill. Now all this ride is in continuity. So this is real time riding up this mountain. Keep it steady with me. Come on. Keep it steady. Keep it steady. Don't get bored now. Don't get bored. Looking good. Looking good. I love riding out here. I love Southwest when it comes to training. Car up. Motorcycles up. Keep it steady. Okay, make sure you drink once in a while. Got to remind you, take a sip of sports drink if you'd like. You don't want to overhydrate, but you also want to stay hydrated. For a ride of this duration, you're probably going to consume at least a 20-ounce bottle of sports drink or water. I prefer that you have sports drink. And as far as your calories go, I would say that for a ride of this duration, that the calories in the sports drink are probably sufficient. But if you need additional calories, maybe have a gel pack or some other favorite carbohydrate. But you don't need a lot of calories for this ride because we're really not riding for that long. But you're riding at a very high intensity, okay? So you've got to stay hydrated. That's the key. Got to stay hydrated. Once your body weight drops 2% or more, your performance dramatically decreases. So make sure you stay hydrated. Take sips from your water bottle frequently. Here we go, right up the mountain. Big chain ring 13. Your intensity level still between 85 and 90%. This is no joke. This workout is no joke. You are working hard. You're doing a good job. Staying on my wheel. Come on, stay with me now. Don't get bored. Don't get bored of my voice. If you get bored of my voice, turn my voice off. Listen to some music to pump you up. And turn me back on so I can remind you about your good form and what the purpose is today, and that is to ride tempo and boost that lactate threshold. Boost your power output. Come on, keep it steady. Keep it steady. Looking strong, looking strong. Like this guy's setting up a camera up ahead. Probably a local TV station. Doing a nice job. See? Now we're on film. Keep it steady. Keep it steady. Car back. Maintain your intensity. We're still climbing this hill. Visualize yourself climbing this hill with me, right on my wheel. You're sticking on my wheel and you're not letting me ride away. You're doing a great job. Still in that same gearing. If you could hear me breathing right now out on the road, you'd know I'm working hard. My heart rate's up around 170 beats per minute right now, which is high because my threshold is around that same area. Come on, keep it steady, keep it steady. Again, we're climbing roughly a 5 to 6% grade on average as we climb. There are areas where it kicks up more, but you can just count on it heading uphill. That's all I can tell you. Until we descend a little bit later on, which is a lot of fun. Right now, we're just climbing. You're in your big chain ring, 13 on the back. Taking a drink right now, so why don't you take a drink too? Never missing a beat. When you take a drink, you got to get right back into your rhythm. Stretching my arms out a little bit there. Maintain your good form. Let's go, let's go. Come on, don't get bored, don't get bored. Got to get used to this intensity for extended periods. That's what tempo work is all about. Nice job, nice cadence. Try to keep that cadence up around 80. Again, if you have to shift gears, go to an easier gear if you need to. But I want high tension on the pedals. I want you producing some serious power in terms of watts on a steady state level. This is a good steady state training effort. It's going to make you a lot stronger. We're going to make you a much better time trialist and really going to boost your fitness. But again, you don't want to do this kind of workout too often. Depending on where you are in your training cycle, it might only be once a week. Maybe even once every couple weeks. Make sure you're fully recovered before doing this workout, and certainly after the workout, make sure that you give yourself plenty of time to recover. Probably a good 48 to 72 hours before you do your next red zone training session. Recovery is an important part of the training equation if you want to get faster. Come on now, keep it steady, keep it steady. Looking good now, come on. Maintain your focus. Your upper bodies are nice and still. Your knees in your top tube. See how my body stays very still? Try to do that same thing. All the work comes from the legs, from the hips down. Once in a while, I'll use that bar as a lever when things get harder, but for the most part, your lower body's doing all the work. Nice rhythm. I by no means have perfect form, but it's decent form, and hopefully you can learn from it. Of course, if you watch some of the professional riders, some of the events, some of the races on TV, you get an idea of what perfect form looks like. Keep it steady, keep it steady. Come on now. Right on my wheel, right up this mountain. We are working it hard. That wind's starting to kick up, and it's starting to get hot. But we're staying steady, we're staying focused. Stay right on my wheel. There's the road from my eyes. You can see the road from my perspective. So I'm wearing the helmet cam. We're heading right up this mountain. Come on. Stick with me. See the road kicking up a little bit. Stay in that same gear though. If you have to struggle to stay in that gear, struggle a little bit, because that's what this workout's all about. It's about pushing the limits. Going beyond your normal capabilities and getting stronger. Overload the system, an important training principle. Overloading the system, that's what this workout will do. Okay, we're climbing hard now. We're in the big chain ring 13. We're in our tension of 4, maybe even 4.5 now on that stationary bike as this road kicks up. And your effort is now at 90%. 90%, okay? Come on, bring it up to me, bring it up to me. Let's go. 90%. I want you working a little bit harder. Motorcycle just went by. Come on, keep it steady, keep it steady. 90%, give me 90%. You can see I'm over the road a little bit. That wind's starting to buffet me around a little bit. And the effort's starting to get into the legs too. Stay with me. Changing hand positions, going to the hoods, going to the top. Tops of the bars. Keep it steady. Come on, come on, come on, come on. That's it. Get right up on my wheel. Perfect. Let me set the pace. Let me set the pace. Your power output's up now because we're going up a steeper section of the climb. Good, good, good. Come on, keep it steady. Stay on my wheel. Stay on my wheel. I know this hurts a little bit. But that's what it's all about. That's how you get stronger. Push beyond your limits. Come on, stay with me, stay with me, stay with me. Thinking about that good form. Upper body nice and still. Legs are going in a nice rhythmic pattern. Like a couple of pistons. Checking out the cockpit right there. Hands were loosely on top of the bars. Don't have the death grip on the bars. Don't waste any energy whatsoever. When you're climbing this kind of hill, you just got to keep it steady now. Come on. Let's go. Car up. Come on, stay with me, stay with me. If you absolutely have to go to an easier gear, go ahead and do it. But I want you to try to challenge yourself and stay in this hard gear you're in right now. Try to get that cadence up, 75 to 80 RPMs. Try to get it up there. Try to hang in there. I know your heart rate's high. I know you're suffering right now, but that's what this ride's all about. We're at 90% effort, 90%. You're not sprinting, you're steady state, high-end effort. Right at threshold, maybe a little bit above. Car up. Come on, keep it steady, keep it steady. Suffer along with me here. Come on, keep it steady. Pretend you're riding with me. Climbing this hill, we're going to get to the top together. Adjusting a little bit on the saddle. Always moving around a little bit on the saddle. Keep things comfortable. Come on, think about your good riding form. Knees in your top tube, upper body nice and still. Hands relaxing on top of the handlebars. Going from the hoods to the top of the bars. to the drops. See this hill kicking up? We are working hard. 90% still. Big chain ring, 13. Come on, suffer with me here. Let's go, let's go. Bunch of cars going by. Stay with me, stay with me. Taking a drink? Go ahead, you take a drink right now. Keep it steady, keep it steady. Come on, let's go. Helmet cam right here. Coach Troy cam, checking out the road. See, we're not going very fast. In fact, our speed slowed because of the grade of this hill is really kicked up because we're working hard. Still kicking up here. Go around this bend. All right, keep it steady now. Nice smooth rhythm, good form. Knees in your top tube, upper body's nice and still. Look at that crystal clear blue sky right up ahead. Awesome ride. You're riding tempo, you're riding hard. You're up around 90% effort right now. And you are hurting, because I'm hurting right now, but you're staying on my wheel. See the road up ahead? Continues to kick up. Stay with me. Keep your rhythm. Try to keep that cadence up as well as you can. Take full advantage of the gearing on your bicycle. Now, of course, when I'm climbing this hill, I'm in my small chain ring on the front, probably about my 21 on the back. My power output is over 300 watts right now. Cranking up this hill. Stay right on my wheel. Come on. Heart rate is at threshold. Keep it steady with me. Keep it steady. There's Coach Troy Cam showing you the road from my perspective. Still in the big chain ring. I want you in the 13 right now. 13 on the back, around 90% effort. Keep it steady. If you're on a stationary bike, crank that tension up. You want that tension up around 4 on that scale from 1 to 5. Keep it steady now. Come on. Let's go. Stay with me. Keep your focus. You're probably sweating a lot, or at least you should be because your intensity's high. Make sure you're hydrating. Make sure you're taking in your fluids. Sweat's dripping in my eyes right now. Stinging my eyes as I ride up this hill. Stay on my wheel. The legs are burning. Come on. Keep it steady. Come on now. See the road still kicking up, and it's going to stay like this for a while. Not only that, we have a pretty severe headwind pushing us back down the mountain. But boy, I tell you what, it's going to be fun to descend. Holy smoke, it's going to be fun to descend. But we got to get to the top first. We got to get to Windy Point. We still have a ways to go. Keep it steady. Come on now. Of course, if you're feeling really strong when we're done, you can certainly climb the rest of the mountain all the way up to Summerhaven. But stay with me. Keep your intensity up. Stay focused. Try to keep that cadence up. Somewhere in that 70 to 80 RPM range. Maybe a little bit higher if you want. Choose the right gearing, though, for you. Stay within yourself, okay? Stay within yourself as best you can. But, hey, I want you pushing yourself. This is not an easy workout. You should be around threshold. Just try to stay on my wheel. Try to stay with me. Let me set the pace, okay? Let me set the pace. Stay on my wheel. Big chain ring 13, still heading uphill. Watch out for that car. There's a truck coming up. Another car back. Giving us plenty of room on the road, which is nice. But you got to be careful out here on this road. Nice shoulder here, though, giving us plenty of room. Love riding Mount Lemmon. It's an awesome ride. It's going to make us super strong together. Come on, keep it up, just like you're riding with me. Come on. That's what the road looks like from my eyes in the Coach Troy cam. Keep it steady. It's flattening out just a little bit, so I want you to take it up to your 15 on the back, okay? Big chain ring 15, because as you can see, the road's starting to flatten out a little bit, giving us a little bit of a break here. But not a huge break. We're still working it. But you can even bring your intensity down just a little bit to around 85%. But I tell you that was a hard climb we just did. But you can bring it back just a little bit. Come on, keep it steady, keep it steady, keep it steady, keep it steady. Come on, come on, come on. Shaking it out a little bit, shaking it out. Letting the intensity come back a little bit as we recover ever so slightly from that hard climb.
Good job so far. It's a tough climb. You got to keep working it, okay? Shift around on your saddle a lot. Keep a nice steady rhythm. Come on.
Big chain ring 15. Your stationary bike tension is on 3 as we continue rolling along in our quest to get to Windy Point and have a great workout today, great tempo workout. We're letting the heart rate just come down a little bit, but we're getting back into our rhythm now, and we're regaining our focus as we start the hard climb again. Come on, stay with me. Maintain your focus on this beautiful day in Tucson. Beautiful day in Tucson, Arizona, where the sun shines 300 days a year. Can't beat that as a cyclist, huh? That's why this is such a popular training destination for cyclists and triathletes from around the country. They come out here for their mini camps in the winter months in particular and put in the miles. Hopefully one day we'll see you at one of our camps. You can visit www.coachtroy.com to learn more about our Tucson training camps. I hope one day you can attend and ride this mountain in real life. Okay, here we go. Let's keep it steady. Big chain ring 15. Don't get too used to this easier gear because we're going to be popping it back down into our 13 here soon. Right now, we're just riding steady. Effort's around 80-85%, somewhere in that range. But we're going to kick it back up again. There's a lot of great hiking up here too. So when you're not on your bike, you can go hiking, enjoy southern Arizona and all that it has to offer for anybody who loves to be in nature. Great outdoor country here for anybody who loves the outdoors. Come on, keep it steady. Stay with me. Big chain ring 15. 80-85%. Make sure you've been drinking, okay? Take in your fluids every 15 minutes or so. Make sure you drink, maybe even in shorter intervals, every 10 minutes. Everyone's different, but you want to make sure you're consuming your fluids, probably to the tune of somewhere around 20 to 40 fluid ounces every hour, depending on how hot it is, wherever it is you're training. And hopefully if you're indoors, you've got a fan placed right on you so you're comfortable. There you are, elevation 5,000 feet above sea level. So we're still climbing, nice and steady effort here. Big chain ring 15. Come on, come on, come on. When you ride up this mountain, you can't help to be amazed and wonder how they put roads on this mountain. It's just amazing. Keep it steady, keep it steady. Stay on my wheel. Stay with me, stay focused. Don't let your mind wander. You're going to have a great workout today. Come on, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Big chain ring 15. Put that tension on 3 on your stationary bike. Now, like all of our workout DVDs, this DVD has a music on, music off option. So if you don't like our music, you can certainly turn our music off and play your own music in the background. Or if you don't like to hear me jabber on, you can always turn the volume off entirely and just ride on my wheel up the mountain. There's plenty of people who want to do that too. And I can't say I blame you. But try to listen to some of my coaching so we stay on the same page and you know exactly what gearing. Of course, you can always look at our gear selection and our tension at the lower part of your screen, and you can also look at the intensity scale in the upper left of the screen. Okay, right now I'm taking a drink, so take a drink with me. Make sure you're hydrated. Come on, nice and steady. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Still in the big chain ring 15 as we give you a little bit of a break. Not a huge break, because we're not in the small chain ring on the front. Of course, on the road I am. Small chain ring, I'm probably about in the 15 or 21 or 17 or so. On the back, in that range, trying to keep it nice and steady. Looking good, looking strong. Doing a great job today. Tomorrow should definitely be a recovery workout. If you do this workout as it's meant to be done, which is a tempo threshold pace, tomorrow should be a recovery workout where you work on that aerobic energy system and allow your legs to recover. Train smart, all right? Shouldn't do, in most cases, shouldn't do 2 really hard workouts in a row. Of course, that really depends on your fitness level and where you are in your training progression. But you want to be careful that you don't overtrain. Very important. Overtraining can have the same detrimental effect as undertraining when it comes to competition. But the truth is, you've got to work hard in this sport. This is a tough sport. If you want to get good at it, if you want to compete at a high level and do the best you can, you've got to commit the time and you've got to put the miles in on the saddle. That's for sure. And that means a lot of indoor training in the wintertime, especially if you don't live in a place like Tucson where you can ride year-round. Alright, so that's why you're on the trainer right now, following me up this mountain, so you can be prepared for the spring and summer. When you're going to be racing, you're going to be a step ahead of everyone else you ride with, because you're committing and you're putting in the miles in the winter months when everyone else is taking it easy and losing fitness. You're gaining your fitness, you're getting stronger. So when you hit the roads in the spring and summer, you're going to be a step ahead, and that's what we want. See the mountains up in the distance here. Mountains are endless. They just keep going up and up and up and up and up. Keep in mind, Mount Lemmon is literally about 25 miles or so. That's how far you could go. But we're going to go to about mile 14, 15, a place called Windy Point. All right, here we go. So keep your focus here. Still maintaining that nice steady cadence somewhere in that 80 RPM range. If you're on a stationary bike, let's keep that tension at about a 3. If you want to bring your cadence up a little bit higher, go ahead and do that. Keep it steady. Big chain ring 15 on the back. Good stuff here, good stuff. Okay, it looks like we're going to be going downhill a little bit. It's about the only downhill you're going to find. So, let's go to your small chain ring on the front, 15 on the back, and we're going to gain some speed going down this little swooping hill. Here we go, small chain ring 15, spin the legs out a little bit. Let's get that cadence up over 100 RPMs. Come on, get it up there, get it up, stay on my wheel, come on back to my wheel. We're going pretty fast right now. This is about the only break you get on this climb. I hope you enjoy it. Besides that little break we had before not too long ago. Come on back to me, come on back up to me. That's it, come on back up to me. Let's get some momentum, because you know what? We're going to be heading right back uphill again. Get some momentum. Stay with me, stay with me, stay with me. You're in your small chain ring 15, and here comes that hill once again. So, pop it back up to your big chain ring on the front, 15 on the back. Stand up, stretch the legs out, stretch the hamstrings out. Come on, stay with me, right back down in the saddle. Get your hands down on the hoods, down on the top of your bars. Some of you might have a tri-bike, you might want to get down on your aero bars just to practice being in that position, because you got to train in that position if you want to be strong time trialing. So nice and steady, big chain ring 15 as we begin to climb once again. I hope you enjoyed that little break, that opportunity to spin your legs out a little bit, because it's all over with, and right now we're working hard again. Big chain ring 15, intensity is around 85%. Come on, keep it steady, keep it steady, keep it steady, keep it steady. Stay right on my wheel. Let me pace you up this hill. I'm really not offering you too much of an aerodynamic benefit in terms of efficiency by sitting on my wheel, but what I do, see that mile marker 9 we just went by, what I do though is I set the pace. So even though you're not really getting a tremendous drafting effect, because we're not going really that fast, maybe about 14 miles per hour right now up this hill in this section. What I am doing though is setting the pace so you can match my cadence and see my gearing and force yourself to stay on my wheel. But you're riding at threshold, okay? You're riding hard to do this. And I'm riding pretty hard to keep you from passing me. But I'm sure you could pass me if you wanted to, but don't do that right now. I just took a drink. Make sure you take a drink too. Try to stay on my wheel. Don't want you getting lost. Big chain ring 15. Keep it steady. Come on. Come on. Isn't this an awesome ride? It's just absolutely beautiful up here. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Maintain your focus. Maintain your focus. And I hope you're wearing your sunscreen right now. It's starting to get hot. Big chain ring 15. Stationary bike tension on 3 on that scale from 1 to 5. 3 being somewhere where it's difficult, challenging, but not impossible to turn the pedals, and you can sustain this for quite a long time. Your cadence should be around 80 RPMs, maybe a little bit higher at this point because it's not a severe climb. You might want to bring it up a little bit higher. We do a lot of work with cadence, low cadence, higher cadence, to develop that skill set so you can dial in your cadence, find out what cadence is best for you in terms of maximizing your energy output, but also your efficiency. For most people, that's going to be somewhere between 80 and 90 RPMs. Of course, everyone's a little bit different, so you're going to find some people who function better at cadences above 90 RPMs and others who function better at cadences below 80. Motorcycle up. Come on, nice and steady. Coach Troy Cam right here. Let's keep your focus. Still in the big chain ring 15. Good steady cadence, good cycling rhythm, ankling through your pedal stroke, maximizing every pedal stroke and the efficiency of every pedal stroke. Let's go. Hands are nice and relaxed on top of the bars or on the hoods. Or if you're down in the air bars right now, it should be nice and relaxed. Come on back up to my wheel, bring it back up to me. Come on, bring it back up, bring it back up. Don't let me get too much of a gap. It'll be hard to get back up to me, so try to bring it back up to me whenever you can. Now you'll notice the trees are starting to get green up here as we get higher. Pretty interesting how you can be down in the desert and all of a sudden 45 minutes later you're up in the evergreens. Pretty cool, I think. And if you keep riding for another hour, a little bit more than an hour, you'll be up in an area where you can go skiing. It's amazing. Of course, I don't think there's snow up there right now, but certain times of the year there'll be snow up there and they'll actually close this mountain off at a certain point. Good, keep it steady. Big chain ring 15, you're riding steady tempo, steady tempo. I know there's not a lot of gear changing on this ride, on this workout, but that's because of the nature of the ride. Basically just going up this nice steady grade consistently. Checking out the gel packets, making sure I have the gel packets back there. Come on, mile 10, mile marker 10. Keep it steady, come on. About 4 miles or so to go. Stay with me, keep your focus. You're doing a great job. Come on now. Nice and green up here. See streams and rivers to your right. The road's not that severe right now, so we're still in the big chain ring 15 on the back. Big chain ring 15, if you get that cadence up around 80 RPMs or in your comfort range, wherever that might be, it's up to you. Stay within yourself, but I want you working hard. You should still be around threshold, whatever that might be. If you don't know what your threshold is, then I suggest that you go get tested at a human performance lab and find out. Find out what your VO2 max is and your threshold, because that training information is important to have if you really want to go to the next level. Find out what your threshold is at certain power outputs as well. What is your power threshold? It's another thing you should know if you're going to be using a power meter. Of course, if you don't want to get real technical with it and you just want to ride, you can do that too and still get fantastic results. Because let's face it, people were getting fast on the bike before they ever had heart rate monitors or power meters on the market, right? Just that these tools can help you and add another dimension to your training. You can learn a little bit more about how your body functions and dial in your different zones. And if you're following a progression in your training program, you can ramp it up and measure your results. But we're keeping it steady, big chain ring 15, riding steady tempo. My legs are burning right now because we've been on the saddle for quite a while at this intensity. We're burning a ton of calories, burning carbohydrate, primarily carbohydrate when you're at threshold. So again, you might want to make sure you take in some sugar, maybe a gel packet or sports drink, some carbohydrate in order to maintain your energy level, because the higher your energy level, the higher quality your workout will be. Also, make sure you're taking in your fluids. You don't want to get dehydrated. Once you start getting dehydrated, your performance drops. And that's not what we want. We want you to have a high quality workout today, and we want you to recover well to work out again tomorrow. That's what it's all about. Consistency. You got to be on the bike. If you really want to get good on the bike, you've got to be on the bike 5-6 days a week, maybe even 7 in some cases, depending on your ability level. Of course, it depends on where you are in your training progression and your experience. But let me just tell you this. The best riders in the world, the pros, they're on their bikes 7 days a week, logging 300 miles and more. Not uncommon for them to log 400 to 500 miles on a regular basis during certain times of their training progression. That's what endurance training is all about. You got to commit the time. Keep it steady. Big chain ring 15. Tension on about a 3. Keep the knees into the top tube. Upper body's nice and relaxed and nice and still. Good job. Good job. You're looking strong. Still in the big chain ring, 15. Don't fall asleep on me. Keep it steady. Keep it nice and steady, nice and steady. Coach Troy Cam. Good job. We're climbing, we're climbing, we're climbing. Keep that cadence around 80 RPMs. At your intensities up around 85%. You're right around threshold. You're still working hard. We're coming into more evergreens coming up. Great job. Come on, keep it steady. Is that a mile marker up ahead? Might be. Mile marker 11. Keep it steady. Stay on my wheel. Now it looks like we're riding somewhere in Colorado, not Tucson. Speaking of other areas, our On the Road series includes rides like this, virtual reality rides, in places all over the country. Some really beautiful rides and various race courses as well, all over the country. So you can check out our other titles in the On the Road with Coach Troy training series at www.coachtroy.com or at one of our other websites. Keep it steady. Come on, stay with me. Which is kind of cool, which means that every day of the week you can ride in another part of the country. Enjoy some new scenery as you ride your bike in your basement or wherever you are right now. A lot better than just staring at that cement wall. Pop this DVD on your 52-inch plasma, surround sound stereo, and you've got it made. You never have to leave the house. Come on, keep it steady. All joking aside, these are effective workouts. Big chain ring on the front, still 15 on the back. Trainer tension on 3, intensity at 85%. We're still just riding the same tempo because the road is not that severe right now in terms of the grade. But I tell you what, it's going to be kicking up soon. Taking a drink, have a drink with me. Because I tell you what, it's going to be kicking up and you need to be mentally prepared for that. We have only a few more miles to go and then we're done the workout. So let's maximize these last few miles. All right, let's start getting it going. Let's start really focusing on our effort and our form. And that wind is going to be kicking up too when we get past these trees. Still in the big chain ring, 15 on the back. Nice rhythm, nice smooth pedaling style. Knees into your top tube. Biomechanically very efficient as you ride your bike. Conserving energy and maximizing your power output. You guys are doing a nice job. Come on, stay with me now. Stay with me. Still in the big chain ring, 15 on the back. Riding steady tempo. Steady tempo. I hope you're breathing hard right now because I know I am. Out there on the bike. Again, that sweat's pouring down into my eyes, stinging my eyes. My legs are burning. You should be experiencing that same feeling right about now. As you ride your trainer. And of course, you might want to have your front wheel elevated a little bit above what it normally would be so your body position is similar to mine. Simulating that hill climb. Come on, keep it steady, keep it steady, keep it steady, keep it steady. We're almost to Windy Point, to the top of the ride for us today. And in our bonus chapter, you can see the rest of the ride all the way up the mountain. Mile marker 12, we just went by mile marker 12. Okay, so last couple miles coming up. We're going to really start working. We can see the road kicking up here too, but we're almost towards the top. It's like climbing and finishing on top of Alpe d'Huez or some other famous tour ride. Let's pretend we're there. That would be kind of cool, huh? Let's go, let's go, let's go. So we're in the big chain ring on the front and our 13 on the back. Take it down to your 13, okay? Big chain ring, 13. And our intensity's gone up to 90%. 90%. Come on now, start working it harder. We only have a couple more miles to go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Now's the time to start getting fired up because we're almost to that finish line, okay? We're almost to the end of the ride. Now's the time to really start being focused. I know you've been focused all along, but let's finish this workout on a high note, okay? Come on now. Big chain ring 13, one cog up from your smallest cog on the back. If you're on a stationary bike, crank that tension up to about a 4. We're starting to work hard. We're really starting to suffer now as we climb this last part of the course. Come on, come on, come on. Stay with me. That's it. Stay on my wheel. Stay on my wheel. You can see I'm starting to work. I'm starting to struggle a little bit up this last part. Stay with me. The road is starting to kick up and that headwind is howling down the mountain, pushing us back. We're only going around 11, 12 miles per hour right now because this road is kicking up. You're in your big chain ring 13. I'm on my small ring 25 right now, just struggling to stay on the bike. Pushing down, pulling up, use that hip flexor muscle, really focusing on dropping the heel as you pull up on these hills. Come on now, keep it going. Try to keep that body, upper body nice and relaxed though. Those hands gently on top of those handlebars or on the hoods. Keep it steady, keep it steady, keep it steady. Work with me here, work with me. Only a couple more miles to go and we're done. Big chain ring 13, keep it steady. 90% effort, 90% effort. Look at how this road is kicking up on us now. Now we're going to go to the 12 on the back. Take it all the way down to the 11 or 12. Crank that tension up to 5. Come on now, let's do it. Let's do it. This is the last part of the course. Now it's time to start suffering. It's time to start digging deep. Push down and pull up. Push down and pull up. That's it. That's it. That's it. Crank up that tension on that trainer. Crank it up. Come on, push yourself. Push yourself in this last part. See the leaves are blowing up here because that wind is really kicking. Come on, push it, push it. Here the road kicks up again, but you're in your big chain ring and that smallest cog on the back, and that trainer tension is high. If you're on a stationary bike, crank that up to 5 on that scale from 1 to 5. You are putting out maximal sustainable power right now. I'm about 400 watts at this point, and I am suffering. The wheels are about ready to come off, but I'm not going to let them till we're done. Come on, keep it steady, keep it steady, keep it steady. Stay on my wheel. Don't let me pull away from you. If you can stay with me to the top, you've done an awesome job. Come on now, let's go. Nice and steady. Big chain ring, 12 on the back. Pushing hard. Push down, pull up. Stay focused on what you're doing. Don't allow your focus to wander. Stay totally focused. Hold that cadence, whatever it is. If it's 75, if it's 80 RPMs, hold it right where it is. Suffer doing it too. This is the time to be working hard. You're at 90 to 95%. So we're in the final section of this workout, this hard workout. And you're riding steady, hard tempo right now, but we're almost there. Take it up to 90 to 95%. The fitter you become, the faster you'll recover when we descend. Okay? So it's all right if you tap into that carbohydrate storage. It's all right now because you'll recover. Your heart rate's really high. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. Keep it steady, keep it steady, keep it steady. If you have to stand up a little bit, go ahead and stand up. Stretch your legs out, stretch out the hamstring, stretch out the lower back. That's okay. But you're going to be more efficient if you stay seated. So try to stay with me as I stay seated. You're in your biggest gear inch right now, your biggest gear inch, and you're pushing down on those pedals with maximal sustainable power. Come on, drive yourself. Drive yourself. Coach Troy Cam looking all around, trying to keep the wheels from falling off now. Come on, keep it together. Keep it together. Come on, come on. Push, 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 push. Push, 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 push. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Stay with me. Stay with me here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. We're driving up the hill. We're driving up the hill. We don't have that much further to go. You've got to stay with me. You've got to hold your focus right now. You're in your biggest gear wrench and you're working it hard. I am totally suffering right now. My heart rate is almost at the max. My power output is as high as it's going to be, and my legs are about ready to fall off. But we're going to hold this until we're at the top. Mental toughness, mental toughness. You got to build your mental toughness. That's what's going to make you a better athlete. When you want to stop, you want to slow down, you know you don't have to. That's what it's all about. Let your competitors fall apart. You're not going to. You're going to train yourself to hold it at your limit. Come on, hold it at your limit right now. See, that road keeps kicking up on us. As a famous tour commentator says, reach into your suitcase of pain. Come on now, keep it steady, keep it steady, keep it steady. Let's go, let's go. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, man. Come on. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Keep it steady. Big chain right here we go. Here's a mile marker. What do we have here? Mile marker 13. I believe we have about a mile to go. Not even that. But you can see the road ahead. It kicks up once again. Come on, let's finish this really strong. You only have minutes more to suffer. Anybody can suffer for a few more minutes. Come on now. Keep it steady. Keep it steady. Hold your focus. Hold your focus. Work it hard. Work it hard. Come on, you guys. Stay with me here. Stay with me. Keep your upper body nice and relaxed as you do your suffering here. Let your legs do the work. You still want to stay efficient. You still want to conserve energy as best you can. But at this point, that energy is leaving the body because you're working it hard. Let's go. Let's go. Let's not hold it back, okay? Let's not hold it back. What's your cadence right now? Is it 80 RPMs? You're in your big chain ring, 12 on the back, 80 RPMs? Come on. Push yourself. Push yourself. Fall into that sweet spot, whatever it is for your cadence, but I want you working hard. You're building maximum strength right now. You're tapping deep, deep into those muscle fibers. Fast twitch muscle fiber, slow twitch muscle fiber. Every muscle fiber you have is engaged in this exercise right now. Come on, push it, push it. Push down and pull up. Push down and pull up as the road kicks up again. You're at level 5, level 5. DEFCON 5. Come on now, you're pushing super hard. High heart rate, you're suffering. Suffer with me because I'm suffering too right now. We're almost to the top. We are almost to the top, and when we're at the top, that's when you can take your break. And you know what? When you get there, your heart rate will come back down, and you'll feel fine within a minute or two. So you might as well suffer to get there. That's the amazing thing about endurance sport. Once you stop, you feel great right away. But if you stop too soon, you can't feel good about yourself. You know what I mean? You got to feel good about your effort. So keep it going. We're coming up to the end. We can almost see it. Right up around the bend up there is where we're headed. That road's kicking up, but you're in your hardest gear already, and you've been there for a while, I know, but the suffering's almost over. Come on, keep it steady, keep it steady, keep it steady. Stay with me. Don't let that elastic band snap. Stay right on my wheel. Coach Troy can. Come on, keep it steady. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on now, we only have a few hundred more yards, maybe a little more than that, but we don't have a long way to go. Suffer with me for a little while longer. Just a couple more minutes, if even that. Anybody can suffer for that long. Come on, stay with me. If you have to stand up, stand up. Get those legs stretched out. Come on back up to my wheel. Sprint back up to my wheel. Let me set your pace. Come on, hold on to me. Hold on to me. Let's go. Push down and pull up. Push down and pull up. Sustain this effort for a little while longer. You can do it. Come on now. Let's go. Let's go. Look at that beautiful scenery. Look at where we are. We're on top of the world right now. On top of the world. Let's go. Several thousand feet above sea level. Come on. Push, push, push. Suffer with me. Come on. Right up this hill. Right up this hill. Or should I say mountain? Because we're almost to the top. We've almost conquered Mount Lemmon up to Windy Point. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Keep it steady. Keep it steady. We're almost there. The road kicks around again, but it's still going up. It's still going up, and that headwind is not our friend right now. It's pushing us back down the mountain, but that's okay because it's making us work harder. It's making us dig deeper. It's making us better athletes. Come on, push it up, push it up, push it up, push it up. Coach Troy Cam, as you can see, we're not going very fast, but that's okay because we're putting out maximal effort right now. Maximal effort. Keep it steady. Keep it steady. Come on, work it, work it, work it. If you have to stand up, go ahead, stand up again. Whatever you have to do, hold that rhythm. Hold your rhythm. We're almost there. Just saw the sign, Windy Point. Let's keep going around this bend. Come on, stay with me, stay with me. Look at these rock formations. Spectacular up here. Come on, we're almost there. Hang in there with me. Hang in there, stay on my wheel. Don't let me drop you. Don't let me drop you at this point. We've come so far together. We've worked so hard going up this mountain. Look at this climb. Look at how hard this climb is. Stand up if you have to, because we're almost there at the top. We are almost there at the top. Stay with me for a little bit longer. You can suffer with me for another minute or two, because that's all you have to do, and you can feel so good about yourself after this workout. This is going to make you so strong. You do this workout once a week, once every couple weeks, you're going to get so strong. Come on, keep it steady, keep it steady, keep it steady, keep it steady. Have some pride. Dig deep as we finish this final section. Come on, stay with me, stay with me. I know you want to slow down because I know I do too, but that's what separates us from everybody else. Stay with me for a couple more minutes. Come on. Look at this, look at this up here. We're almost there, Keep it steady, keep it steady, keep it steady. Come on, push yourself, push yourself. Let's go, let's go. Look at this, we're coming into the parking lot area. Keep it steady, keep riding, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Awesome job.
Great job. Here we are at Windy Point on Mount Lemmon, and I tell you what, it is windy here, and on the ride up it was incredibly windy with headwinds that were making us go about 10-11 miles per hour. Anyway, it was a tough ride. I know I rode tempo near threshold the whole time, and I hope you did too. If you did this ride correctly, tomorrow and even the next day should be just recovery efforts. Make sure you hydrate well, make sure you take in plenty of calories, plenty of protein, plenty of carbohydrate, and really give yourself a chance to absorb all this great training. And if you want, you can continue up the road another 10 or so miles to the top of Mount Lemmon, and maybe we'll do that in a future DVD. In the meantime, I hope you can make it to one of my Tucson training camps, because I know you'd have a fantastic time. Now, for you, it's time to cool down. For me, I'm going to do the most exciting part of this entire ride, and that's descend Mount Lemmon. Let's go, and I'll tell you what, we'll see you next time.
We hope you enjoyed your ride through the desert with Coach Troy. Be sure to check out the Coach's extensive library of training DVDs and to learn more about his Tucson training camps and other services by visiting CoachTroy.com or calling toll-free 1-888-288-0503.